Hey there, Yellowstone fans! We've reached the final chapter of one of the most iconic and brutal shows in recent memory. The Yellowstone finale has left us with so many emotions, questions, and a few shocking revelations about the fate of the Dutton family. The big question on everyone's mind, did Jamie Dutton finally pay for his sins? And did this episode truly close the door on the Dutton legacy for good? Well, buckle up because we're about to go through every twist, turn, and heartbreaking moment that unfolded in the last episode. Trust me, you don't want to miss a single detail of this breakdown. Let's dive in. The episode begins with a devastating truth. Yellowstone Ranch is reaching its end. The once mighty land that the Duttons fought for is now being sold off piece by piece. Beth Dutton, who's always been the backbone of the family, is forced to sell off the ranch's assets, horses, tools, and even land itself. The reason? They're in debt, and they need the money to survive. It's survival mode, and the Duttons are cornered. The family struggles to make enough to cover a year's worth of debt, but we know that's just the beginning. The taxes are still coming, and the bills are piling up. Even though this buys them some time, it's clear that Yellowstone Ranch cannot last forever. As we watch them try to hold on to something they've known their entire lives, it's hard not to feel that the Duttons are losing everything they've worked so hard to protect. But even in this moment of despair, we see hope. Casey Dutton, ever the strategist, comes up with a plan to save the family, but it doesn't have anything to do with Yellowstone. Instead, Casey's focus shifts to reclaiming the land that's rightfully his family's. This move sets the stage for a monumental deal, one that will change the Duttons' fate forever. But while the Duttons are fighting to survive, Mo, the leader of the Broken Rock tribe, is waging his own battle. He leads the tribe in protesting the development of a pipeline that threatens their ancestral land. The stakes here are high. The land represents history, tradition, and culture. As the tribe fights back, we see the pipe slowly sink into the water, symbolizing the slow destruction of the land. This battle over land is a parallel to the Duttons' own fight for survival, reminding us of the sacrifice and loss both sides have experienced. But it's not all about loss. Rainwater, the tribal leader, makes a powerful move. His deal with Casey Dutton isn't just about business. It's about restoring the land to its original state, free of construction. The land is returned to its natural glory, and in a symbolic gesture, all man-made structures on the property are dismantled. The Dutton family may lose their ranch, but the land, the heart of their legacy, will never truly be gone. Beth's words ring out, "I couldn't keep the land, but I saved it." In the end, it's not about ownership anymore. It's about respecting the land and protecting it for future generations. This moment highlights the show's deeper themes: land, legacy, and the cost of greed. But while the land is changing hands, the Dutton family must face another kind of loss. John Dutton, the patriarch of the family, is dead. His funeral is a quiet affair, no grand speeches, no elaborate ceremony. Just a simple, heartfelt goodbye from the family. It's fitting for John, a man who lived simply despite his immense power. But in the absence of grandeur, we feel the weight of the loss even more. At the funeral, Beth Dutton is a woman on the edge. Grieving, angry, and filled with a need for revenge, she makes a solemn vow to her father to avenge him, no matter the cost. It's clear she won't rest until she's made Jamie Dutton pay for his betrayal. But here's the shocking twist. Jamie Dutton doesn't even show up to the funeral. It's almost as if he's already removed himself from the family's narrative. And in that absence, we realize that Jamie's biggest betrayal isn't just his role in John's death, it's his complete disconnect from the Dutton legacy. Jamie Dutton has always been a man of secrets. As the episode progresses, we see him preparing a speech, one where he plans to lie about his father's death and shift the blame onto Beth. This is his final act of betrayal, trying to cover up his crimes and take the blame off of his shoulders. But as he rehearses his lies, we begin to see just how far he's willing to go, even if it means destroying everything his family built. His plan is to turn Yellowstone into a recreational park, putting the final nail in the coffin of his family's legacy. But things take a dramatic turn when Casey strikes a deal with Thomas Rainwater. He agrees to sell Yellowstone land to the tribe for the same price they paid generations ago. In return, the tribe promises to restore the land, keeping it in its natural state forever. No development, no destruction. It's a powerful moment, both symbolically and emotionally. The Duttons may lose the land, but in doing so, they've safeguarded its future. Beth may have lost the fight to keep the ranch, but she's won something bigger. She's saved the land from being turned into something else. This is the Dutton family's ultimate sacrifice. The land will live on, even if the ranch does not. And now, it's time for the showdown. Beth Dutton is out for revenge, and there's no stopping her. Armed with bear spray and a massive knife, she heads to Jamie's home, determined to settle the score once and for all. As the two face off, the fight is brutal, graphic, and emotional. There's blood, there are punches, and there's the truth that Beth will never back down. Jamie, beaten and bloody, reveals his true colors. He confesses that he planned to frame Beth for his father's murder and take over the ranch. He wanted to destroy the Dutton legacy just to get back at them. But Beth, with cold fury in her eyes, does what she does best. She ends it. In a shocking and final moment, she stabs Jamie right in the heart, ending his story and his reign of terror. It's a brutal conclusion to a character whose betrayal had gone on for far too long. With Jamie gone, the Duttons take their final steps. Rip burns Jamie's car, ensuring no evidence remains. Meanwhile, Beth tells the police a twisted version of the story, blaming Jamie's attack on her, and conveniently leaving out the part about the murder. The Duttons cover their tracks as they always do. The final scene sees Rip locking the gates of Yellowstone for the last time. The iconic ranch is closed, and the land is returned to the indigenous people. But in a poignant moment, we know that the Dutton legacy is not over. It's just different now. As we close the book on Yellowstone Ranch, it's clear that the Dutton family has left a lasting impact on everything they touched. But what happens next? Casey is beginning his own legacy, teaching his son the ways of ranching. Beth and Rip move on to a new chapter in Dillon, Montana, seeking peace at last. But this isn't the end. With Yellowstone spin-offs already in the works, we know this universe isn't done with us. There are still so many questions. Will the Duttons ever be able to escape their past? Can they truly live in peace after so many years of conflict and betrayal? What lies ahead for their new lives? So what do you think about the ending? Did Jamie's death satisfy you, or are there still things left unresolved? What about Casey's new path? How do you feel about the Duttons' legacy now that Yellowstone Ranch is gone? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because you won't want to miss what comes next. The world of Yellowstone may be over, but there's still plenty to uncover in the spin-offs. So stay tuned and let's keep this conversation alive.